This is pavbhambra for PSB Sports. We're at the British Beef first press conference here for Lawrence Okoye.
Everyone keeps doing that. They go, we're here at the press conference with British Beef. I mean, no one goes, we're at the press conference for British Beef. So everyone says British Beef. I think it's very good. Sorry, carry on.
That's all right. Sorry, I'm here with promoter Eddie Hearn. How have you been? All good?
Good, mate. Really good. Yeah, it's been a busy year. Looking forward to a few days off, although I'm not sure what will happen on that respect. But great press conference today, huge turnout, and really excited about the fight.
I know when AJ first fought Whyte, that sort of first rival match that they had, that was in his 15th fight, I believe. And obviously these guys are having it much earlier than that. Yeah. So I know the rivalry's been there, but how's it come about so quickly, the fight?
Just because everybody wants it. The fans want to see it, the fighters want it, the coaches want it, the trainers want it, the managers want it, and I think we're in a sport now that's driven by the demand of the fans. So if they want to see a fight, it's really down to us to make it happen. We also have an obligation to develop the careers of fighters in the right way, and yes, this has come early. But again, once I'm asked to make a fight time and time again by the fighters and their teams, I'm happy to do so, especially when it's a fight as big as this, with as much attention as this.
In terms of actually Anthony Joshua's involvement in the event, I know Lawrence Okoye is managed by AJ Boxing, and obviously AJ was in the middle of the head-to-head. So what's AJ's involvement in this?
Just because I think he brings a load of attention to the fight. As you saw by the turnout here today, I had people who said, "Oh, is Anthony Joshua taking over Matchroom?" People don't realise about the business dynamics between us and AJ in terms of what he is involved with at Matchroom. He's very, very bright. He's a huge asset to these kind of shows, and he loves it. He loves being involved in these kind of fights. Does he want to be a promoter traipsing up and down the country doing radio interviews and press conferences? Absolutely not. His job is to win every single belt in the heavyweight division. So he really enjoyed turning up here for an hour and then go to the gym and do what he does. But for us, it's an honour to have him involved, and a massive coup to have Anthony Joshua essentially co-promoting the show with us.
I want to ask you something about a fight fan asked you on Twitter the other day. I think they pulled you up on something you said about how you said that this wouldn't sell out the O2 or something like that. But what's the reason you're actually doing it at the O2 in that case?
Well, because we plan to do the Whyte fight at the O2, and
sorry, is that confirmed?
March 24th it looks like. Yeah, with Whyte at the O2 against Lucas Browne.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not confirmed, but it's almost certain. So, but basically, I looked at this fight. It started to gather even more pace after a Coley the other night, in Chamberlain's words. And I stand by my word. It doesn't sell out the O2. Not a lot of fights do sell out the O2, but I think it does big numbers. And again, with AJ's involvement now as well, I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. And I think February 3rd is going to be a great night.
Let's move on to a recap of the year. How would you assess this year for you guys?
It's been incredible. I mean, I think sometimes you don't really look at, when you look back, okay, so what happened? So let's talk about what happened. In March we had Hay against Bellew, which was just such a dramatic event, huge win for Tony Bellew. Then we had Crawler Linares. Then we went to Ricky Burns trying to unify the division. Then we had Ryan Burnett fighting for the world title. Then we had Anthony Joshua against Vladimir Klitschko, the biggest fight in British boxing history and the biggest event and best fight in British boxing history. Then a couple of weeks later we had KELL Brook, 26,000 at Browne Lane against Errol Spence in a brilliant night. And you go on, you had Campbell fighting Linares. You had, see you later mate, good to see you, good luck, speak to you in a bit, have a great Christmas. Then you had Crawler fighting Ricky Burns. Then you had Ryan Burnett unifying the title. Then you had 80,000 at the Millennium Stadium for Joshua again. Then you had Callier defending the world title. Then you had Katie Taylor winning a world title and defending it. It's been an incredible year. Event in Monaco. Just non-stop action. And sometimes you don't look back at it like that. And you go, Jesus Christ, that was a huge year. We'd have loved to finish with Hay Bellew, but we got that on May the 5th. We've got Joshua hopefully unifying in March. We've got this in on February the 3rd. You've got Whyte in a huge fight in March. You've got KELL Brook returning. Yafai could be going over to LA to fight on a super fight card. So it's non-stop, and I think British boxing is in a great place right now.
So did you manage to catch my interview with David Higgins that we did over the phone?
A few bits, yeah. Listen, he's a good character. He knows what he's doing, and he's done a good job. And I think he's got a great deal for Parker. And I'm looking forward to seeing Dave here at the press conference. Yeah, he's a character, and he's not as nuts as he makes out. Do you know what I mean? He's a bright guy.
He's a smart business guy.
But ultimately he's talked the fight up. He's got to a position where he's got a great deal for his guy, and hopefully we can get it over the line.
So, a few quotes from my interview. He basically said that anything less than 35% is a slap in the face. He said that Joshua is scared Parker's going to break his glass jaw. Basically, that's some of the stuff he's been saying. So, has there been any move on that 35% figure?
Of course, but we don't talk about that because that's not something we talk about in interviews. It's something for the contract. I think he's got a great deal, but it's not really. Of course, it's our job to get a great deal for Anthony Joshua, but ultimately we want the belt. So that's what we're paying for. The grass jaw stuff is irrelevant for me. I don't have to get in the ring. I believe Anthony Joshua is the best heavyweight in the world, and he's going to prove it continuously, as he has done, stepping up before his time, being in fights before his time, and doing the business time and time again. So Josie Parker, all these guys talk the talk. Let's see when the lights go down and they have to step in the ring and trade bros with Anthony Joshua, how they really get on.
So I know you mentioned that stuff's left of the contract, which is fair enough. You don't talk about that, but has there actually been any move?
There's been movements, yeah, from both sides. So, and there had to be to make the fight. So
how close are we, if you could give it a percentage of Joshua Parker?
How
close are we percentage-wise on the fight?
90%.
90% there.
Yeah.
Venues as well?
Loads. London, Manchester, Wales, 31st of March, April the 7th, all in play.
Stadiums?
Yeah, all stadiums.
In terms of, obviously, I know you've got all the announcements of your shows next year. KELL, we've got 154 pounds. I know you've got big plans for Brook, Whyte and the other fighters. Talk to us about the fighters in the stable, some of the plans you have for them.
Well, Kell Brook's coming back at 154. He's a major force. Scott Quigg's going to fight for a world title. Katie Taylor's going to unify the division. We hope that Ryan Burnett can add more belts as well. Tony Bellew's going to fight David Hay. We're looking for big fights for Crawler. Luke Campbell, I believe, is going to go and fight for a world title as well. Non-stop. It's just going to be Yafai. We want to see him unify the world titles as well. Josh Kelly's going to come out and win major titles, as is a lot of our young fighters as well. It's going to be ram-packed.
Have you got any plans at all to work with Tyson Fury?
No, he can work with us and make a lot of money and walk into the Anthony Joshua fight, but we have to deal with reality at the moment. We can't talk about an AJ Fury fight. He ain't boxed for a couple of years, and he's a long way away from full fitness, but we hope that he can get back in the game.
Any more news to tell us? Anything else happening behind the scenes?
Loads behind the scenes. You'll see it all unfold in 2018. Thank you for all your support. We're the main man, Pav, with different kind of barnets in all interviews, but I'm glad he's got it right. And we look forward to 2018. Thanks for your support.
Thanks.